Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We're going to go into VR and take on Daily Race A in the Lamborghini Diablo for this week's video. So we're starting from the back of the grid in race 1 in the Lamborghini. Obviously we've had to do a rental because we don't own this car on this account. And yeah, you can see the car in front got a bit of a jump start there, and we're going to get a reasonable start straight away. So yeah, if you do enjoy these videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments if you've had any goes on VR this week or if you've enjoyed this race on VR. But yeah, in VR, this is a little bit chaotic. Going into turn 1, you can see a lot of smoke kicking up where people have obviously hit into people, and we've got drivers just absolutely sending it in there. We've got ghost cars everywhere, cars that are not ghosted, and it's quite chaotic in VR, and we've come out of there in P9, I think we are, as we got P10 just on the left of us there. So yeah, into P9 after the start, gained a few positions there, but a lot of chaos in turn 1, and it's to be expected really. This car is quite a wide car. Monza turn 1 is chaos at the best of times. So into the next braking zone, and this can often be chaos as well, as we see a car in front losing control. We're going to try and go down the left, but he doesn't really give us the space there after losing control. And then we've got more chaos in front of us. We try to avoid that chaos, just about making it past and up into P8. So yeah, quite a chaotic start in VR. Now this car was actually really nice to drive in VR. Again, good visibility, could see a lot of what was going on, and you could see out the left window really well also. So quite nice visibility, as we have a car sending it up the inside of the French driver, and then obviously the French driver can't get on the throttle because he's been sent up the inside, so he couldn't get on the throttle. So we end up going to the back of him and losing another couple of positions there. So back down to P9. And now we're going to be going into the Ascari chicane, just braking around the 200 board. It was very difficult to get the braking for the first jump on this race, but eventually started to get used to it. And you can see there P7, the French driver, getting a little bit out of shape on the Ascari chicane. And now we're going to be working our way up into the final corner. So yeah, this car, really enjoyable. Yet again, another road car. It does seem like road cars suit VR really nicely on Gran Turismo 7. They turn a little bit. It's almost more predictable. I said it so many times now. Same with the Jaguars. We got the inside there. Nice little cheeky move there. Keeping it nice and tight and putting ourselves up into P8. So a nice little move up into P8. And yeah, the car seems a little bit more understandable. You can kind of feel the grip a little bit different in VR when you're in a road car compared to when you're on 2D screen. In terms of like race cars, though, I still think the optimal way is definitely non-VR. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do a race in a competitive situation in VR because you just get beat. It's pretty obvious. With all the chaos going on around you, you just lose time. So again, we've got another ghosted car there in the first chicane, but we get through that, and now we're working our way up to the next group of cars. So again, we're going to be coming up to the first chicane there and seeing what's going on ahead of us. We see a little bit of contact there. You can see the smoke kicking up, and we're just going to try and make sure we hit our brakes nice and early there and into the chicane. So take a little bit of the curb, a little bit of curb on the next part, up to third gear, and now accelerating up into the Lesmo corners. And you can see 3-4 cars in front of us there. We got, I think it's P4, P5 and P6 actually, and then the next group of 3 a little bit further ahead. And we got optimistic move up the inside there. Is he going to go for that? He's going to go for that. Actually made it work quite nicely there by P5, and now we're going to get the run on this Lamborghini on the left. Now I'm not sure what happened there, whether that was a deliberate lift or just a misshift. It could have been a misshift because this car is a little bit annoying with the shifting. So I'm going to say it was a misshift there, but he just suddenly stopped in front of us. So that knocked us back a little bit. So fast forwarding up into the final corner, and we're going to see a bit of a savage move by the driver that just did that misshift. He just goes straight into the back of Louis' slippers there and knocks him off the track. And he's also got a penalty there. So we're going to go to the right hand side of this driver. You can see the damage where he's hit him actually on the left hand side of the car. So quite a heavy hit into that final corner. I'm not sure if it was deliberate or what, but he didn't wait for him. He carried on, and we're now going to come up behind him anyway and see if we can get past him. Now into the braking zone, we're going to take advantage of the ghosting situation. He brakes way too early. We're going to go straight through that and accelerate all the way through the corner because not sure why he braked that aggressive, but we'll take advantage of that and up into P5 in this race from the back of the grid. Not going so bad at the moment. We've got P4 not too far in front of us, and we're going to fast forward as we're starting to catch up. Now, coming out of the first Lesmo, P4 is going to make a little bit of a mistake here. You can see he's going to get on that throttle too early. He's going to understeer off the track, and he's going to go into the gravel and just about get back on the track. Now, I just backed out of this because he's going to get a bit of understeer here, and we're going to go down the right-hand side and try and get a better exit up here. So Getting the run on him on this straight into the Ascari chicane. Can we manage to go around the outside? You can see we've got a bit better pull. Looking at that Lamborghini as we're side by side, it is a unique feeling of VR, being able to look at the car as you're going side by side. It's really good. But we can see that we're clear in that mirror and up into P4 in this first attempt of this race. So not bad, going pretty well, but we've got quite a big gap up to them leaders. And by the time we got to the lap 5, the end of lap 5, we started to catch them up. You can see we're going purple here with a decent lap, so starting to put in some pretty decent lap times and catching up to these cars in front. But you can see we're not going to manage probably to get near enough because we've got one corner to go, the final corner, and they're going to go side by side by the looks of it. They're going to see if they can go for a move. Will they be able to go around the outside there? Will P2 be able to hold on to that? It looks like he has. And we're now going to try and see if we can just get as close as possible. But no opportunity to grab a podium at the end here for our first attempt. But reasonable race, not too bad. And we're going to go over the line here with a pretty solid lap. I think it's going to be a 153.0. A 153.0 I think that was. So not bad at all. Solid lap. And now we're going to go again for a second attempt. Going from the back again. However, we're in P8 this time. A little bit further forward. Now we get a good start here. How unfortunately we slow this down. The ghosting system decides to on-ghost someone who obviously gets on a jump start right in front of me, and that's going to halt our progression. However, with Monza being turn 1 chaos, it's probably going to be a benefit, because as we come into here, trying to fix my position on the car because it was out of sync, and you see all kinds of chaos going on in front of us. We've got cars facing the wrong way, cars all over the place, more cars off the track, and that is the normal Monza turn 1. And we're up to P4, so getting a little bit lucky there. And now we're going to push on. Now, I couldn't get my position right on this at the moment. It was out of sync with the angle, so it felt a little bit weird. So as we're driving here, you're going to see every now and then we're going to press a pause button to try and fix it. So into the braking zone, up on the inside now, just defending in case any car decides to send it on the outside. It's always good just to hold that inside at the start. And we get a nice run on the podium here now for P3. And we're going to get this position up the inside into the first Lesmo. And that's a nice little move done. And now a pretty good start, considering what happened on the start with the ghosted car. Sometimes it shows you that being at the back is probably a benefit when you've got chaos like that kicking off. We're already up to P3 and pushing on for the battle for the lead. So pretty interesting, not a bad start. And you're going to see, I think we try and fix the positioning again here. So yeah, pressing pause to try and fix it, just to resync it, because it just didn't feel like it was lined up properly. Sometimes that happens in VR, and it just takes a couple of clicks just to get it where you want it. As P1 goes off into the gravel and gives me a very nice P2 there. So now we're chasing for the lead in this daily race A. So let's see, can we get anywhere near him? But we got a penalty there for cutting the corner. You might have saw that on the exit of the Ascari chicane. Cut the corner, and we got a half-second penalty. However, going into the braking zone here, we're going to see that P1 goes a little bit too deep. He's out of sync on the corner. We're going to try and duck underneath him. There is a little bit of contact there, but we do give him more than the car's width. We're still side by side with him, and now it's a drag race up here into the next chicane. You can see we just about got ahead of him now on the inside, but we're going to give him space there just in case, because I can't properly see where he is. But now we can see that we're ahead, and now we're going to go into the braking zone. Braking on the inside there, and now into the chicane. Just take a curb as aggressively as we can. Try not to take too much off. Now we've got to try and build up the lead, because we've got half a second penalty and we've got two cars right behind us. However, by the time we got to the penalty zone, you can see there the car behind also had a half second penalty. So that penalty was neutralized. As you can see, I'm still trying to fix my position, but managed to get it right, I think, about that point. We got it quite sorted in terms of the angle that I needed to be in. Now you won't see any changes because you're seeing the feed that goes through to the monitor. The feed that I get is slightly different in VR. But now we've got it sorted, we're going to try and push ahead. So into the braking zone, we're going to have to go a little bit defensive possibly here. We can see that car in the mirror. However, the good thing about this track is if you're leading, you can kind of just stick to the left. Brake as late as you can, because you know that cars are going to get ghosted. So if someone does send it, they're probably just going to go straight through your car anyway. So kind of don't need to go defensive into that corner, which is quite good if you're in the lead, but a bit weird in general. But you can see we managed to pull away quite a lot here. We're on to lap 4 and we're quite a few seconds ahead. I don't know how many seconds ahead, because we don't get that information in VR. It would be nice if we could have that somewhere as an option to put maybe in the bottom left or something, just so we could see where we were. However, we do a little bit of a cut there. It was a minor cut. I'm quite surprised we got a 1.5 second for that, because It was just the first part of it, we took a little bit too much off. I think we only go purple by 1/10. So I think half a second penalty would have been a little bit more justified by that. But it is what it is. We cut the corner a bit and we've got a 1.5 second penalty to take. It's the inconsistency with the penalties that is quite weird, because like the other one before was half a second, but probably gained more by cutting more off that exit. But you can see with that 1.5 second, that is going to give the car behind the ability to get right in my slipstream for this final corner. Now, I had a bit of a problem on the final lap. The VR headset lead had caught behind my back. It had come down from the chair and was yanking. So it was actually pulling on me, and I was trying to fix it. So you might see my head moving around quite a bit on this final lap. So apologies if it's a bit disorientating. I was trying to fix the lead on the back and I couldn't get it. It was stuck right behind my back and pulling on the headset. So it was a bit irritating. So I was driving a bit messy on this final lap. So we're going to go into the final first chicane, try and get a nice line through here. And we're just going to try and hold on to the lead in this race. So not too bad through there. A little bit of oversteer. You can see the correction on the steering wheel. And now pushing our way into the second chicane. We can see in the mirror in the bottom left, he's still there. You can see me having a little look in the mirror to see where he is. And we can see that we're going to be okay for the braking zone, because he's not close enough really to go for a move. So braking around that 200 board. Now we just got to try and get it over the curb and left. Do not get a penalty. And then up to third gear, attack the curb and just get on the power for the exit. Quite nicely done there and built up a little bit of a gap. But again, I think you might see through here, I was trying to mess with the lead on the back of the thing, on the back of the headset as we come out of the second Lesmo. And I think we might have hit the limiter on the shift while we was messing with it. Let's have a little look. As we come out the second exit there, the second Lesmo, I think we just hit the limiter a little bit, and that's going to give, you can see I'm looking down to try and grab the lead from behind me. It was getting quite irritating, but you have a little look at the car why we did that. But it has gave the run to the car behind, because he's managed to gain about 7/10 on us there where I was messing with it. But we've got the inside line into the Ascari chicane. Can we hold it now onto the curb? We've got the position still, and now we've just got to get a nice clean exit from the Ascari chicane and work our way into the final corner. It looks like we've got a nice enough gap there. It's hard to judge because you don't have a delta. But looking at the gap in the mirror, I felt like we were safe enough, so we don't really need to go defensive. So braking just before that 150 board into the final corner, and we're going to take a nice win in this daily race A. But yeah, another enjoyable combination in VR. Have to say, it is really, I'm loving doing these videos in VR. I really am enjoying taking the time to do these. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully you lot are enjoying them as well. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for more of these in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.